cancer diagnosis. Our white lanterns represent not only those here, but all patients and survivors, including those who are not able to join us tonight. Survivors come from all walks of life, each with a unique story to tell. To share his story of survival, please welcome Patrick Murphy.
Evening, light the night. How you guys doing? That was overwhelming. How are you guys doing? There we go. All right. My name is Patrick Murphy, and I'm really happy to be here tonight. But not as happy as my friends and family are, though, now that I've stopped asking for donations. Don't worry, though, I will start asking for 2022 tomorrow morning. Some of you may recognize me from the band Bella Kane, and you may be wondering where my guitar is. I'm thinking the same thing because this is the first time I've been on a Summerfest stage without it. I'm not here to play music tonight. Tonight I have the honor of talking about my battle with leukemia. In December of 2019, I did the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I asked for help in my fight with drug and alcohol addiction. I got out of rehab on January 25th, 2020, ready to take on the world, and my exact words were, 2020 is going to be the best year of my life. Turns out I couldn't have been more wrong. In the late spring, I was on a Zoom meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, and the gentleman claimed that after he got sober, he began to feel so good, it was as if he was in high school again. I sat there thinking, yeah, mentally I feel great, but physically I just feel awful. Why am I so tired all the time? Why am I waking up sweaty? At first I attributed these symptoms to stress. After all, I'm a full-time musician and I had an entire calendar year of gigs get canceled. In June, the inkling that this was just stress went away completely when I noticed a lump just above my left collarbone. At first I did what any overly confident guy in his 30s would do, and I ignored it. It wasn't until I noticed that it had almost doubled in size in just over a week that I decided to do something about it. I finally went to see my primary care doctor with the following symptoms: constant fatigue, drenching night sweats, loss of appetite, rapid weight loss, achy bones, and a lump in my neck. I can only imagine what my doctor's face looked like, but he had a mask on. I will assume it was something like this. After a blood draw and some sleepless nights, he called me and informed me that I have leukemia. I was then referred to Dr. Stephen Medlin at the Vince Lombardi Cancer Center, and for the next few weeks, Dr. Medlin and I put a plan together to save my life. At this point, I want to remind you that I started 2020 by saying it will be the best year of my life. On the contrary, things were starting to get pretty dark, and at times I really didn't think I wanted to fight. I didn't want to go to doctor's appointments by myself. I didn't want to FaceTime my parents while in the examination room. I didn't want to sit in the chemo chair for hours all alone. I didn't want to be dropped off in my apartment wearing a mask and telling my friends they're not able to come upstairs and hang out. I didn't want to do this at all, least of all solo. The truth is, I was never alone. There was never a time I made a phone call and it went to voicemail. Text messages were never left unread. I received more beanies and Uber Eats gift cards than I knew what to do with. People came out of the woodwork to ensure that I knew that even though physically they couldn't be with me, I was not alone. On the nights when things seemed so dark that I wanted to give up, my friends, my family, and my sponsor were my light. They truly were lighting my nights. I can promise you this: if you decide to get sober, lose all your ability to make money, and get diagnosed with leukemia in the middle of a global pandemic, it will get better. Even the darkest nights can be filled with light, and that's why we're here, to light the night. For anyone who has been in the dark, you are not alone. Whether it is for you or a loved one, we are here to help light that night up as bright as we can together. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, for sharing your story, for being such an incredible